Hey, everybody. Welcome to Friday Night True Crime Night. I'm really excited to have everybody here. As you know, this month we are covering the murder of Princess Diana. Excuse me. So today we're going to be covering, last week we covered Sorry, I forgot to hit mute on myself. So tonight last week we covered Diana, her birth, who she was as a child, as a person, and then before she got married, and then when she had her children, everything such as that. What's up, Mike Gedney and Don Ford? It is so great to have you guys. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Tonight we are going to be talking about Diana and not the circumstances surrounding her death. We're going to discuss that specifically next week. One thing we are really going to talk about is like the divorce and like the downfall of Diana. I'm trying to set up some legwork, so to speak, so that way when we actually talk about her death and basically the conspiracy surrounding it next week, we've laid some of the footwork of why we feel this way. So basically, Princess Diana was stripped of her title and downgraded to Diana, Princess of Wales. And this forced Diana to curtsy to those above her, which were also considered to be her sons. Could you imagine having a 14 and 11-year-old child that you had to fucking curtsy to? I mean, no, I can just imagine the power trip that my kids would have if I did something like that, okay? However, Prince William, who again was 14 years old at the time that Diana was downgraded, he was so sweet. He allegedly told his mother, where's the quote? "Don't worry, Mummy, I will give it back to you one day when I'm king." Isn't that so cute? He was basically telling her, "Don't worry about your title, Mom. When I'm king, I'll make sure that you get it back." So sweet. My kids would have been like, "Fucking kneel lower, Mom." You know? I mean, I think anybody's kids would kind of be like, "Mom's kneeling to me? Wow." It's kind of badass, you know? Anybody would take advantage of that shit, but not this cute little kid. So I guess that really does show you how much Diana really does live on in her children, and hopefully not too much of Philip and his mother. So, now Diana got to keep her Kensington apartment, which Kate and William and her grandchildren now reside in. She was given access to the royal family's jets and was able, quote unquote, to use the state apartments at St. James's Place for entertaining. Now, though she did have to ask the Queen's permission, but she was permitted to keep all of her jewelry she amassed during her marriage. Of course, guys, with the exception of the Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara, which Queen Elizabeth gave to her as a wedding present after only wearing it once. So, I mean, you would kind of think, I haven't seen that thing in a while. What is the Cambridge Lover's Knot? Okay, let me just Google it very quickly. I'm very sorry. I have a couple of tabs open tonight. Lover's Knot tiara. Let's take a look at this son of a bitch real quick. Oh, I see. Oh, I see. This is a replica I'm looking at. I'm not looking to buy one. I want to just see a picture. There we go. Let's see. Damn it, I'm sorry. I just want to see an image of it. And when you go to it, you see an eBay listing for it. Hang on one second. I will share the screen so you guys can actually check it out as well. All right. There we go. Okay, so look at that tiara. That is gorgeous. So she just had to return that and Prince Philip. I'd say that was a steal, if that's all she had to return. Now, obviously, as you can see, Kate wore it. She did wear it in, I think 2015 and 16, but She did have to give it back, and like I said, all she had to do was give back that and William, and her title. I mean, to be honest with you, just to get rid of a piece of shit like William, I think that's not, those three things aren't too bad to ask. See, look, right here, you could go to Etsy, and you could go Amazon, you could purchase all these fake tiaras. It's just weird. I'm sorry, excuse me. Okay, here we go. We're back on to Mother Supreme. Sorry about that. Okay. Um, so, oh yeah, it's in my notes right here that it was lent to Kate in 2015 and 2016. So, Buckingham Palace, though, publicly stated that as the mother to the heirs of the throne, Diana could be regarded as a member of the royal family and, quote, will from time receive invitations to state and national public occasions, and at the invitation of like a sovereign or the government. Now, she and Charles were granted access to Prince William and Prince Harry, which you would think, huh? They're both granted access? But yeah, I guess in the divorce, she didn't get the boys. I mean, none of them did, it kind of seems like. So, and if you're kind of wondering, wow, that kind of sucks. Why would they have even agreed to a divorce? Well, what I found out today is that they didn't agree to a divorce. They were starting to have some problems. And the queen and her husband kind of got together with both of them, and they said, look, guys, you've got to just kind of come together and be together. You've both, cheated against each other. We're really disappointed in you, but you have to just pull yourselves, and your titles together and just get through this and just stay married. And then I don't remember if it happened before or after, but Diana went on an interview in which she stated that she thought she was going to be killed by her husband, and that she had had multiple affairs on him, and that, or at least one, but he was in love with Camilla. So that's when the queen ordered, okay, look, you guys obviously just don't know, okay, divorce. She ordered them to get a divorce, which is something that has like never been done before in the royal family. So she broke tradition to have them divorce, which I thought was pretty badass. I mean, that was a good thing that they divorced. They needed to, but I really like how the queen broke tradition in order to make that happen, But you can also see how pissed she was at many certain times. The queen did not like Diana. And at first, remember from last week when Charles was talking with his Mimi, he was bitching to her, Milla won't have me. Mother, what shall I do? Who shall I marry? Who shall I be with? And him and Camilla Camilla and the queen came together and actually picked Diana for him. Guys, Prince Philip has no balls. He has absolutely no intelligence or concept in his brain of what it takes to be an actual man. Yes. And this just really proved it to me. I'm sorry, I'm all cuddled up with you guys. So I'm sorry, let's continue. So we basically got it out that, the queen really did not like Diana, and especially when they divorced, she didn't like her even more, because Diana started coming out and talking about Charles is going to kill me. I had an affair with the guy who took care of my horses. She comes out and she tells secrets that the royal family does not want her to tell. To be honest with you, it's like a soap opera. It just, and especially now in almost coming into 20, we're halfway to 2020 right now. Well, excuse me. We're halfway through the year getting to 2020. It's kind of like you really can't sneeze without finding somebody who's kind of going through some same kind of like crisis in their family, sort of like that. Everybody's got drama is what I'm trying to say. And the royals don't need to fucking hide it so hard. It's just not necessary. We all got problems, people, okay? They don't need to worry about their shit. So let's see. They were both granted equal access to the children, respectively, and the boys alternated holidays with Charles and Diana when they weren't attending their boarding school. So okay. So the kids were in boarding school, so nobody actually had like custody, as you would define it, of the boys. They lived at their boarding school and they got to hang with their parents on the holidays. Damn, I wish I could have grown up like that. I would have loved to have like no interaction with my parents or any of my family except when forced on holidays. How many of us out there are giving snaps and thinking, yeah, I wish the same. But for those of you out there who had very happy childhoods, don't worry. We're glad you did. Let's see. Things were civil between Charles and Diana as they worked together to co-parent their boys after the divorce. And let's see. Okay, so during an inquest into Diana's death in January 2007, Deputy Coroner of the Queen's household, Baroness Butler Sloss, said, quote, "I am satisfied that at her death, Princess Diana of Wales continued to be considered as a member of the royal household." So I just want there to be absolutely clear, no misunderstandings here tonight, guys. Princess Diana was still considered a member of the royal family, despite downgrading her title, making her curtsy to her own sons. They gave her access to, the estates or certain estates if she asked permission. She could attend certain gatherings. So she was Diana, Princess of Wales. So she was 100% part of the royal family. And that is going to come into play next week when we talk about what led up to, or the events that happened on the night of Diana's death. So now there's a couple of things, guys, and I do apologize very quickly. I want to take a quick, brief moment to apologize to y'all that I did not stream on Wednesday. I am not used to staying up late. Usually at about 7:30 at night, I'm taking my medication that'll kind of help me coax into a nice, gentle sleep. So about 9:30, I'm snuggled in the bed, passed out. And the kids are usually in bed by 8, at least the younger ones. So when Michael and I stayed up and we did Pose, we did the after show at 10 and we didn't end until 11:30. So by the time I started to wind down and try to get to bed, it was like 2 o'clock in the morning. I hadn't done that in so long. I was shivering. I was in the closet, curled up in a ball, crying. I mean, I just couldn't get out of there. I felt so bad. And oh my God, it was a bad night. So the next day, I could not get out of bed. And I was not even able to barely even speak. So I sincerely apologize about the late notice and everything on Wednesday. I just really thought I was going to be able to pull my shit together. I didn't. So today I had to go get special injections from my doctors, like vitamins and B12. So I was able to just really pull myself back because I was feeling bad on Wednesday and then I was feeling really bad on Thursday. And I thought, fuck it, I'm not going to take the chance anymore. I'm just going to go get the injections from my doctor and just hopefully it'll make me feel better. And it did do at least something to help me. So I am not as heavily prepared for tonight as I would have hoped. I do have more information and we're definitely not done. But the stream was probably going to be cut by half. And again, I sincerely apologize about that. Woo! I have been trying to solve the problem. Hey, baby, you okay?
Yeah. Mommy, I just have the hiccups there.
It's okay. If you get a little, I'll get you a drink in just a minute and we'll get rid of those. Okay, I'll be right out. So I'm sorry, the kid bopped in, so I can't really, I lost my train of thought. So I have still stuff left on the live stream. And like I said, I was really trying hard to pull it together for Wednesday. It just didn't happen. So I apologize. So I've been staying up every night an hour later than what I normally do so I can adjust myself to staying up later. Because I'm thinking, how the hell am I going to do an after show like the next day or so? I mean, it's just so crazy on how I just can't pull it together, on how the poison just has taken me down so hard and so fast. And it's just really sad because we're going through testing right now to see if any of the damage can be reversed. And so far, it's just not looking like it. And it just really sucks that I'm going to feel this way the rest of my life. And woo, so I really appreciate everybody out there who has been very kind and patient. I'm just very grateful to you. And I'm really working hard to catch up on certain things. And my kids are playing. So if you hear any kind of like screaming or something, they're like playing hide and seek. So Blake is working another job tonight. So it's just me and the kids. So, okay. So events leading up to her death. I do want to let you guys know that the official investigation, if you were to Google right now on how Princess Diana died, it would tell you the answer was a traffic collision. Okay, so an investigation conducted by French police concluded that the driver, Henri Paul, who also died in the crash, was heavily intoxicated and caused the accident while trying to escape the paparazzi photographers who consistently tailed Diana during any public outing. In short, it's going to tell you traffic collision. Now, there have been many inquests into the murder, or excuse me, I should say the death of Diana. I say the murder because she has been found, she was found to be unlawfully killed. And we'll get into that here in just a little bit. So we have the official cause of death that came out in 1997, which I don't know about you guys, but I know exactly where I was when it came out about Princess Diana. I had just attended a party with my friends, and this was back, of course, over 20 years ago when college just started, usually right after Labor Day. And I'm pretty positive that school technically hadn't started at that time because the party we were having was, I think, a last day of summer party. Anyway, it was a huge blowout that we had at my friend Crystal's house. Her and her parents had like this big 5 acres out in the country, so we could be loud. We could do anything we wanted. Her parents were gone with her brother and her sister. So we had this major fucking party at this major fucking party in her house. And I remember too, because never mind. Then when I went home, it was like 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm so sorry. Please excuse me. And of course, this was before Netflix, YouTube, or anything like that. So the first thing I did was flip on my TV and I started channel surfing while I was just relaxing. And then, of course, I hit a news channel and it says Princess Diana has died. And I'm thinking, what? I watched her get married on TV. Don't tell me she's dead. So maybe let me know in the comments, guys, where you were when you found out that Princess Diana had died. But after Diana and Dottie and her driver had died in the accident, Dottie Al-Fayed's dad, Mohammed, made claims that the British government murdered them, that they had, in fact, spent many long hours and time working this out to murder them. Now, there was a French, I believe a French inquiry. Let's see, 200 witnesses were interviewed and a 6,000 pages of evidence were collected. And then in September of 1999, French magistrates issued a 1-page summary of their findings and determined the crash was caused by Henri Paul's drunken state combined with the excessive speed, and that Dottie and Diana would have survived if they had been wearing their seatbelts. The magistrate also strongly criticized the paparazzi's behavior, but he did not find that they'd broken any laws and recommended that no action be taken against them. There is also a couple of writers out there that are against the Diana conspiracies, that she was murdered by the British government. Obviously, you know why they're saying she wasn't, because they're probably paid representatives of the British government. But they do come out and say that the paparazzi who were there at the scene were arrested. There were 6 of them there that were arrested and given jail time for failing to render aid, which I think the guy that they're saying was jailed was Romuald Rat. And I apologize if I'm saying it wrong. Romuald Rat. Romuald Rat. He was the first photographer there. Supposedly, he arrived right after the accident happened. And he had his camera and walked up to the car, opened Diana's door, and saw her on the floorboards and started taking pictures. And then he kind of helped her. Supposedly he had some sort of paramedic training and was helping to lift her up and to get her help. Supposedly, allegedly, and one of these writers, and I do apologize, I did exit out his podcast that I was listening to because I thought it was the biggest bunch of propaganda bullshit that I had ever heard in my life. So, but I will get it for you guys if you do want to hear it. I'll try to get it and put it into the descriptions, or put links for you guys into Guests of Hotel Cortez and Patreon. And one thing I will put in there is the wedding of Prince Charles and Diana. That was something I was also watching. But Romuald started taking the pictures and then trying to help her, and then supposedly told other photographers to stay back. Don't come any closer, because he was trying to keep them back from his scoop, so to speak. He was getting the scoop of Diana and her. He supposedly said that she didn't look bad. She didn't look like she was terribly injured. However, I found an actual quote from him, and he was quoted in saying that he recognized how bad off she was, and that's why he was trying to render her aid. And he immediately instructed the other paparazzi people, because there were other people there with them. There are photographs to show that there were other photographers there with Romuald Rat. And he told them, call 911, or, whatever their 911 is there in the UK. And so they all tried to render aid to the princess. That's what I got a quote from him saying. And then we have other people saying that that's not true. He tried to exploit her by taking the pictures, and he was basically taking pictures of her while being on his cell phone, selling them to other publishing or to other newspaper places around the UK, telling him, hey, I've got pictures of Diana's death. I'll sell them for $300,000, which I don't know how much, the difference is, but the money differences. So he did not sell them for exactly $300,000, US money. It was a little different there in the UK. But supposedly the inquiry said that Romuald Rat was like selling these pictures like a fucking auctioneer while shooting the pictures. It doesn't make any sense. So the inquiry itself, it was really heavily criticized. A lot of people did not agree with it. So another one started in 2007 and ended in 2008. And it found that Diana and Dadi Al-Fayed had been unlawfully killed as a, quote, as a result, quote, grossly negligent driving of the following vehicles and of the Mercedes. Now, there is also proof, 100%, that there was another, the following vehicles included a white Uno Fiat. And we're going to go over all this stuff next week, because I'm actually going to have a timeline for you guys. What I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to write it up, and I'm going to just copy and paste it into the Guests of the Hotel Cortez and the Patreon. in the patron posts. So that way we'll go over it here. But if you want something a little bit more detailed, you can read it on there. But it was found that Henri was not the cause of the accident. And I don't even think that they could even verify that he was drunk in the new inquest. But they found they were. So technically now Diana and Dottie do not have traffic accident no longer listed on their death certificates. They have unlawful killing. And you think, what is that? And that is basically when somebody is killed out of their own hands. It's weird. I mean, if you look up, just look up unlawful killing. The definition itself is weird. It is used a couple of times to define when people have been killed by a mysterious third party. It's almost like a way of them acknowledging, yeah, we know somebody else killed her, but we're going to say something technically just to appease people, but we're not going to say anything else because, fuck those people. Maybe I'm wrong. So you guys let me know in the comments what you think of this. Let's say, oh, hey guys, I am so sorry. I have missed some chat. What's up, Dawn? It's so great to have you. BRT, it is so great to have you. No worries if you're late, just so glad you're here. Good old eBay says BRT, heck yeah. Dawn says Prince Charles seems like a wimp to me, LOL. I know. Girl, preach that stuff. He really does. He seems like the world's worst mama's boy. You know that type? It's just what he makes me think of. Oh my. Debbie, Ebby, Babebby, we are so glad to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Debbie also says, I'm mostly awake with a question mark. Absolutely, Debbie. I totally hear you on that. Debbie says the world always still thought of her as our princess. Damn right. Let's see. I call it a murder too, says BRT. 100% Debbie Ebby Babebby says it was a murder. I remember it vividly. Mike Gedney says I was just entering pre-K. Oh my God. I was just entering. Well, I took college that summer before I technically started college. So I took college courses, but technically when I started college, that's when it happened. So, wow, Mike, you are just a cute little babe. You are awesome. BRT says, I was programming software and always had CNN on in the TV in the background. Nice. Don Ford says, I was at my parents' house celebrating my mother's birthday when I found out about it. She died on my mom's birthday. Oh my God, that sucks. Dawn says, Mary, I did watch the documentary you posted. Really shed a lot of light on everything. I do feel that the royals had her killed. Oh, yes. I'm always the kind of person where I like to say, okay, so when I heard there was a Sandy Hook conspiracy, I thought, okay, I just have to see what they're presenting as evidence. I'm always the kind of person that has to go in and see the evidence that they're presenting in light of a conspiracy or in favor of a conspiracy. And if it holds somewhat of water, somewhat of logic, then to me, it gives me enough incentive to move on. If it has absolutely not one bit of logic or moment of sanity in it, then no, I just can't apprehend it whatsoever. But the fact of how long and the route it took to get Diana to the hospital, and she would have survived had the ambulance had actually gotten there. Guys, I just have to say, at the accident scene, when you stepped out of that tunnel, you could see the hospital. It took them an hour and 44 minutes to get her there. You could see the motherfucking hospital from the accident site, from the entrance of the tunnel. Excuse me, not the actual site, but from the entrance of the tunnel where the accident was. You could see the hospital from the moment they got her into the ambulance. Literally from the second that ambulance took off, it took an hour and 44 minutes to get her to the hospital. Into a hospital they could see right across the way. So, I really did want to talk somewhat about the conspiracy, and start leading you guys into it. But sadly, since I was really sick earlier this week, I did not get a chance to. So we are going to cover that more next week. And then, of course, the final week. So yeah, we are definitely going to cover more of this. Debbie Babebi says, right at dawn, they found out that Diana was pregnant. I did find pictures that people said that showed that Diana was pregnant. And I have to say that with the right angle, with women who haven't been pregnant before, even with women who haven't, with the right angle and the right clothing, you really can take a perfect shot that will make someone look like they're pregnant. So it's been a while since I've seen the actual photos. However, I do remember looking at them and thinking, oh my God, she does look pregnant. But like I said, it's been a little bit. I didn't actually take a good abstract look at them. So I do promise you guys that I will provide you with the links and all that stuff this week in the Patreon postings and on the Guests of the Hotel Cortez, because I know some of you are not in Guests of Hotel Cortez. So I want to make sure that those on Patreon get the same information as those who are on Facebook. So, all right, guys. Well, I do apologize. I do have to start winding down the live stream. I hear my kids playing, and we're going to do some family things. And I just want to thank everybody very much for being here. I'm going to make sure that I start working on the rest of the Diana information for you guys. Like I said, I'll start posting in the Patreon and the Guests of the Hotel Cortez. And I'm also I haven't had a chance to, because of course I've been going crazy about Pose on my Twitter. I also wanted to post some poll questions to you guys. And, I'm so sorry, but I knew I forgot to show you guys. I have to show you something very quickly, guys. I have to show you very quickly before we go. Okay, hang on one second. Guys, I did it. I went and bought it. If anybody was actually watching this last week, you saw that I was talking about a first edition Stephen King novel that they had at Half Price Books that was $35. And usually I keep the receipt and I put it in the books so I know how much I spent on it, and some reason it's not there. But I went back and I did it. Damn it. I needed something. So it is a first edition copy of Firestarter. I did it. And I don't know what the fuck to do now, because I just see right here that this Hangout on Air is live, and it highlights Hangouts on Air is going away later this year. For quick streaming, try YouTube webcam. Oh my God. I fucking hate updates. I'm not going to lie. So everybody welcome this new Firestarter, because normally I wouldn't do this. Like I said, normally I wouldn't do this, but I had to, guys. I had to. Next time when I'm feeling really awful and I feel like the world is just literally against me, I can hold this in some comfort. So I just wanted you guys to see, because I didn't tell my husband. BRT says, wow, it's a lot thicker than I thought it'd be. BRT, all I have to say is that's what she said. You guys are so awesome. Mike says, I could spend my whole paycheck at Half Price Books. Dude, I get, absolutely, I got that. All right, you guys, y'all are awesome. Thank you so much again for being here. I love you all. And I will be back tomorrow night with you guys for Saturday night Patreon interactive night. Love you guys, and I will see you tomorrow night. Bye.